What's Guardiola thinking, mate?
Must be thinking, oh, damn, I need a number 6.
Mate, if Ruben gets top 3 in his first season, the second season, Man United has to spend big in the summer.
2 more goals, and Viktor Gyökeres is inside the top 5 of best goal scorers in the calendar year ever. We're talking about ever.
And Viktor Gyökeres, in terms of table in the top strikers, top 3, top 5.
Top strikers. Viktor Gyökeres, in my opinion, is the best striker in the world.
So you think Viktor Gyökeres is going to Man United, mate?
Let's see, Alex. I hope he stays at Sporting. For God's sake, it's not Sporting Lisbon. By now, everybody, every damn pundit should know by now it's Sporting Clube de Portugal and not Sporting Lisbon.
Got to Go Ball Season 2, Episode 9, here with my great friend, Pedro Hibon. How are you feeling, my guy?
I'm fine, Alex. Always great fun to be here with you. What do you bring us today?
Mate, I gotta start with this. You were the person that said that Viktor Gyökeres was a top 3 striker in February. How are you feeling right now?
Alex, top 2, come on. Top 2 striker in the world, Viktor Gyökeres. I mean, some called me deluded. Some believed me. Those who actually watched the Sporting matches knew what I was talking about. In my opinion, there is no striker in the world that is more complete than Viktor Gyökeres. I said Harry Kane is the better one in February. I might be starting doubting even my own prediction. But the thing is, Kane is a better finisher. Gyökeres is a more complete striker. So if I had to pick one for my team, I'll definitely go for Viktor Gyökeres.
Interesting, more complete here with a bold statement, and we're just started here with episode 9. But people, thank you so much for supporting us, FC Wonderkid podcast. Make sure you like this video on YouTube, and if you prefer to listen to us on Apple or Spotify, we're weekly on it. So follow us on those platforms. And again, thank you for going bold, and even give us guests that you would like to see in future podcasts too, okay? Because we can even have a round table with Pedro against a Benfica fan or against a Porto fan. That would be very interesting to watch.
Spicy.
But yes, Ruben Amorim is now at Manchester United officially. Pedro, how are you feeling as a Sporting fan to see Ruben in red? And honestly, with so much clarity that he is going to succeed at Manchester United. How are you feeling?
Alex, to be honest with you, I have nothing but to say thank you to Ruben Amorim for what he gave to Sporting fans for the last 4 years. I'm definitely sure that this was the happiest I've ever been as a Sporting fan for the last 4 years. And I just hope that João Pereira can pick up what's left and build up towards the end goal, which is to win the championship for the second time in a row in the last 70 years. It's the first time that Sporting would do it.
But so, Manchester United,
in my opinion, United has got currently the second best coach in the world. There is absolutely nobody that is better than Ruben Amorim for the job.
To face Guardiola.
And that's also an interesting one because Guardiola just renewed his contract. Is it like, do you think it's a statement that, okay, whoever comes, I don't care, I'm going to beat them? Do you think that Guardiola just is willing to show everyone that Ruben won't be able to take him off his chair?
I think Guardiola, the extension was a good move to do, even though sanctions can come to Man City. But yes, Ruben Amorim focusing more on Ruben. I think it's the right job at the right time, as Ruben Amorim stated.
Definitely,
and this is the thing. Ruben Amorim, every moment he's spoken with a mic to English fans, he's impressed. And Erik ten Hag, in all this time, I guarantee you that Man United fans didn't get this sense of communication that they get from Ruben Amorim. England is falling in love again with the Portuguese manager. It's the second time, and Ruben Amorim, this is a bold statement, but I think he'll win the Premier League until 2027. Because Man United has the infrastructure, has the money, has the fans, has the charisma and the heritage to be perceived as the best team in England and therefore one of the best teams in the world of football.
And Alex, it's not by chance that Cristiano Ronaldo called Ruben Amorim the poet. Now we see why he's called the poet.
The poet, did he?
Yeah, didn't you know that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo mentioned when they played in the national team that Ruben Amorim was a poet, let's say, because he knows his way with words and he knows how to captivate people. And one of the biggest complaints I've seen about Erik ten Hag at United was he was an awful communicator, either with players, fans. He had no charisma.
True.
Erik ten Hag was lacking charisma. Tactically, he could be a good coach. Even Ruben Amorim said it himself in his opinion. Ten Hag, before going to Man United, he was the best coach outside of the top 5 leagues, even better than himself.
True.
Because he faced Ruben Amorim with Ajax against Sporting and he beat Ruben Amorim.
What a team.
What a team. He was lacking communication, and nowadays you cannot go anywhere without communication. You need to understand your players. Ruben Amorim is a young coach, with a jovial attitude, and bringing in that jovial attitude, just like Alex Ferguson brought back in the days when he first started at Man United, building a club culture.
And he arrived in November.
And it's going to be a huge impact. You know, at the moment, I see United as a fractured club. And it's a fractured club not only playing football, man.
True.
The thing is, you see now, even Gary Neville commented.
Great interview. Sky Sports, Gary Neville with Ruben Amorim.
I saw that as well. It was a really nice one. And we had Rashford and Casemiro going out for 5 days. I was even shocked that they gave Man United players 5 days when the new coach is coming in. That just shows that Ruben is not completely in charge by now, but when he is, this will definitely happen again. As Ruben himself said, in 3 days, you lose your fitness, you lose everything. So you cannot have 5 days off when a new coach is coming in.
And when you have like Europa League, like not even Champions League, Europa League ambitions, or top 4, because other teams do not do that.
Yeah, Alex, something short of Man United winning the Europa League this year is going to be a failure, in my opinion, in Europa League. United has to win something. Even Ruben Amorim said it himself. United is in a process. It will take time, but while we're doing so, we need to win something.
True.
And the Europa League is the perfect title, just like Jose Mourinho did. And in my opinion, why shouldn't Man United be contenders for that?
And Ruben Amorim is thinking win by win, a competition that has knockout stages, it could be ideal. Look at Liverpool when they started with Jurgen Klopp. They went bold in the Europa League too. So great, very well mentioned, Pedro. And Ruben Amorim, to go with what you said too, aligned, Ruben Amorim is one of the best managers in the world of football. Right now at 39, why? He's a strict man. Rules are mandatory in that locker room. He's intelligent, more specifically, emotionally intelligent with his players, and he identifies talent and develops the right way. His supporting staff knows that Ruben is the boss, and everyone in that club will perceive Ruben Amorim as the boss of the club in the first 3 games easily, okay? It's going to be an immediate impact.
And you touched something fulcral, in my opinion, there, which is, in my opinion, pundits, journalists are way wide of knowing Ruben. They don't know Ruben at all. Because if there was a time at Sporting that Cristiano Ronaldo was mentioned to go to Sporting, and now back again, I seen some pundits, some journalists saying, oh, maybe Ronaldo can make a comeback at United with Ruben Amorim. Absolutely no chance. Ruben Amorim wants character, but he wants character towards the team. He doesn't want any individual being bigger than the team itself.
Look, to justify that, I know that Francisco Trincão against Man City, 4,000 calories. 4,000 calories left his body playing against Man City. I do not know if Cristiano Ronaldo could play in this idea of Ruben Amorim, okay? So I think it's more in that sense. But I do not think Ruben Amorim, if he had the situation of Ten Hag a couple of years ago, he wouldn't have dealt with De Gea, with Cristiano Ronaldo the same way. I think they would leave as legends, like we saw Sebastian Coates, like a Luis Neto leaving Sporting recently.
Even Antonio Adan.
Exactly.
That's because Ruben Amorim, he was a player himself. I mean, Ten Hag was a player as well. But Ruben Amorim is empathic. He knows what the player is feeling in that moment, and he gives the players what they need.
Exactly.
Even the players that don't play that often, you know. He gives them what they need because he knows exactly how a sub player feels, how a starting player feels, how a reserve player feels.
Exactly.
And that's the main focus for a team to work is everybody knowing their role.
Very true, very true. And Ruben Amorim even stated in the interview with Gary Neville, it's when a player loses the ball, every single player that's playing on the pitch for Man United, they immediately must know, what do we all have to do? We all have to play as a collective. And not a lot of managers say this to the players, reacting when you lose the ball. All need to react the same way, the same thought. If he goes there, we do this, we do that. That is what a leader does. And you get the feeling, and this is a promise I'll do. I would be lying to Man United fans if I had promised that they would win the Premier League this season or they would finish for sure top 2. I would be lying, okay? But I can guarantee you one thing. It's the value of the Man United squad by the summer is going to be increased significantly.
Definitely.
A player like Luke Shaw is going to play at left center back. His value will go up. Maguire will be perceived in a different way. Casemiro, that gets a lot of hate, but even so, he's one of the best defensive mids in the history of football. His value will go up. So Ruben will have an immediate impact with the value of the squad and how they play. Old Trafford will be a fortress in 2 years' time. Not immediate, but it's trusting the youth and trusting an idea that can beat Pep Guardiola. Do you agree?
Yeah, Alex, definitely. And the thing about that is the first step towards that goal is believing in your players. It's the first step towards increasing the squad value. And the thing is, you see the difference in a speech. When Erik ten Hag came, he said, we need the players. You have to wait because we need to sign some players that are accurate for our current system.
Exactly.
Ruben Amorim just said, I have my way, my system. The players that are here will have to adapt to my ideas. And if I believe in them so much, the players will start believing in them.
Until they prove him wrong. Until they prove them wrong. So Ruben Amorim still doesn't feel he was proven wrong. So that's why Man United fans, be excited. This is a man, Rúben Amorim, that doesn't look at something and say, I'm going to lose. No, I can't do this. No, he says, I got something. I've got a chance. I've got a chance to make history. That's Man United.
And also, you look at the Man United squad, for example. We're playing with 3 center backs. You need at least 6 center backs in your squad, which Man United doesn't have. But I've seen also, as we mentioned on off before coming here, Rúben Amorim is going to play for sure Luke Shaw at left center back, not at wing back. Because Luke Shaw has the perfect characteristics to play in that position.
And the pundits in England say left wing back, some of them.
Even though if he's not a center back. And even in games that Man United needs to be more offensive, it will help to push the Man United teams forward, playing with the left wing back as a pure winger almost, and making the right wing, the left wing, the forward left wing, come inside and occupy zones in between the midfield and the attacking zone.
And Ugarte will be at the left side, and Kobe Maino will be more at the right side.
Yeah, definitely, man. And covering the wing backs when needed. And I really don't think that the pundits and journalists have seen Sporting play under Ruben Amorim, because if they had...
They did the City game, mate.
They're going to be surprised against...
the City game.
Yeah, for sure. But they're going to be surprised against Ipswich. I really do think that United's going to cause an impression right now, tomorrow, against Ipswich.
It's going to be very interesting. Very good. A lot of points were discussed here at the start with Man United and Ruben Amorim. But yes, let's talk here overall and what we're going to see here in the 11. 3-4-3, we both believe that's going to be the system. He's even confirmed it too in an interview. So at the back, when Man United is going to be with the best defense this season, it's going to be Onana, it's going to be Lenioro at right center back, it's going to be De Ligt and Lisandro Martinez, the defense. Do you agree?
I agree, but I wouldn't be surprised if Maguire made an appearance as a central center back as well a lot of times.
So De Ligt dropped and put Maguire with Lenioro and Lisandro Martinez.
I think that's going to be the base. We will see a lot of different combinations. And what was interesting about Sporting, and I hope to see at this Man United team, whoever plays as a center back in the back 3, they always play the same way. They, as you said, if the ball goes right, they know what to do. If the guys are playing in transition, they know what to do. If they're playing in possession, they know where to be. And I think that's goal against for Ruben. Doesn't matter who we're playing against. What does matter is what our players believe. And I do think that Maguire is going to make a surprise appearance, being the main man at the center.
And if Scott McTominay was still a Man United,
yeah, you could play that position as well.
But a player that is, and we believe that's going to have a rebirth, maybe like Maguire, I believe certainly Mason Mount is going to be a very different player than he was with Erik ten Hag. Now with Ruben Amorim. He costs 60 million, Mason Mount. He's earning more than 200k a week. That's the Man United standard that he's got to be world-class level in times of moments.
Champions League winner.
True. So he's got to show it now at Man United, and with a fresh start with Ruben Amorim that even stated that he likes him in the first press conference, and also stated he can play 2 positions. We know it's behind the striker like Pot did at Sporting, and it's to play like Pot did also if he had to at the center mid position.
Alex, I'm fully convinced that we can witness a rebirth from Mason Mount. Not at first. I think he won't start Mason Mount just yet. But as the season progresses, even the Europa League is great for that, for those kind of chances to test new formulas. And it's not even testing because it's not risking a lot. But I'm certain that eventually Mason Mount is going to become the player that Pedro Gonçalves is at Sporting.
Oh.
And that's why maybe Ruben Amorim said the first player I would go for if I leave Sporting is Pedro Gonçalves. Maybe after all we won't see that because Mason Mount, I think he can do the same. Can perform the same role as Pedro Gonçalves.
So you're talking. So just saying an 11 here. So Man United fans expect to see this 11 at least sometimes in the season. Okay, with Onana, Lenioro, De Ligt, or Maguire. Then left center back Lisandro Martinez or Luke Shaw. Then doing the whole left side. It's a bold statement, but Garnacho. Let's see, okay? He can adapt Garnacho to do it, but Dalot can also play at that side. Then at the right, Anthony. Imagine Anthony playing at right wing back.
I believe that in games won't pose as much of a defensive threat to United. He will go for that.
But Mazraoui will be the first option. So it'd be Mazraoui, then Kobe Mino and Ugarte. Do you think that will be the midfield ahead of Ugarte or with Casemiro or Casemiro with Kobe Mino?
In my opinion, it's going to be Ugarte and Mainu, at least eventually. He may start with Casemiro because he has more experience and he kind of knows the players and he acts like a captain in some ways as well, even though Bruno Fernandes is the captain. He's really important. We've seen with Garnacho when he lost the ball a few games back, Casemiro was just shouting at him, and I think that's important. You need captain role models inside.
Accountable players.
Yeah, accountable players are role models, and I think Casemiro can play a huge role at the beginning, but eventually, for sure, Ruben Amorim is going to play Ugarte and Mainu.
And Rashford, how are we thinking here? How's Rashford going to play with Ruben Amorim?
I shouted this out. Ruben Amorim was not even confirmed at Man United. Ruben Amorim will play Rashford at the striker position, guys. Trust me. We've seen that in the training session as well. But Højlund was not there, to be fair, but we've seen that at a training session. So that's on his mind, not playing Rashford as a winger.
He's leaving probably.
Marcus Rashford is intended to be, by Ruben Amorim, the Victor Gyökeres of Man United for now. For now. And I believe that he's going to perform well at that task.
So for now, so you think Victor Gyökeres is going to Man United, mate?
Let's see, Alex. I hope he stays at Sporting. That's just the only thing he can do. And guys, by the way, Victor Gyökeres, Sporting. It's amazing that Sporting is.
So transfers of Man United. We'll
get there. We'll get there.
So transfers of Man United. So who do you believe will go to Man United in January or in the summer?
Alex. So for now, I believe that similarly as Ruben did at Sporting, he's going to go for English players because he needs to go. Ruben Amorim
inside the Premier League.
Ruben Amorim needs to go for players that know how big Manchester United is, and not somebody who was born in 2003 that never seen Manchester United win properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
he needs to go for players who understand Man United culture. He even suggested players do a damn tour at the museum so they feel the weight of United's jersey, man. We're talking about the biggest club in England, and he's right. As Liverpool as well.
But Man United, they've got that global effect.
Yeah, that Liverpool doesn't have just yet. And Ruben Amorim is going to go for players that know how important Man United is in the world football. I really do think they can try to make a big move for Jamal Musiala.
Look, if Jamal Musiala goes to Manchester United in the next 2 to 3 years, he could be the first player of Ruben Amorim to win a Ballon d'Or. And I'm talking here of Ruben Amorim like he's won a Premier League already, okay? That shows the belief that I share, okay? I know that if Ruben Amorim doesn't do anything, as a pundit, people are going to start mocking. But I'm certain, Ruben, eu acredito em ti. You're going to make a difference in football. And if Jamal Musiala also goes to United, he will become definitely a contender to win the Ballon d'Or immediately.
Just imagine this front three at Man United. You have Bruno Fernandes in the left, Victor Gyökeres as a striker, and Jamal Musiala on the right. Doing the same movements as Trincão does now in Sporting. That would be game over.
Best team in the Premier League in terms of attack.
That would be game over.
Lenioro there, Kobe Mino there, Garnacho maybe playing at the left wing back, adapted now. Look. This is what Man United can do. You got Carrington and you got this pull. Any player in the world can be convinced to play at Man United.
Yeah,
so with transfers,
exactly.
though. So you mentioned that the type of player and what they should believe. I agree with that. So is there players that you, like for me, Kerkez would be an interesting player to have. Milos Kerkez that plays at Bournemouth, plays very good football. Also, he could have gone to Benfica a couple of years back. Knows the Premier League and is also very important for Hungary, for his national team. So Milos Kerkez, Ryan Ait Nouri, Bastoni would be the best signing possible of Ruben Amorim.
Carreras. But Man United has a buyback option of 20
and it
million.
would be less than 20 million to get Alvaro Carreras. That could be a move that we could see, or a dream Alfonso Davies, Real Madrid or Manchester United.
So you definitely think that United is going to go for a left wing back?
100%. And a left center back too. Bastoni would be the best signing possible, or Gonçalo Inácio.
Yeah, one of the two.
But I think he's going to get another player from Sporting.
I think Bastoni is a different gravy than Gonçalo Inácio. Even though Gonçalo Inácio, in my opinion, is one of the best center backs on the ball in the world, Bastoni on the one-on-one defensively is a step above.
Let's challenge the world. I think the best left center back, the best player to play at left center back in Ruben Amorim's system is Alessandro Bastoni. Name me one player that you think could play better than Bastoni in the Ruben Amorim system.
Why not Lisandro Martinez? Ruben Amorim said it himself. Before going to the market, I'm going to see what I have inside my own house.
He could be good enough for 2 seasons, but Bastoni would elevate to world class the amount of cover and obviously the amount of chances he would create. So people, the challenge, comment down below if there's a player that you believe could be better. Now, we mentioned now, and last thing, so do you believe Manchester United could finish top 4 this season, Pedro?
I have absolutely no doubts that Manchester United will be top 4 by the end of the season.
Ooh,
Alex,
no
Manchester
doubts.
United is only 4 points away from the top 4
True.
from the fourth
But
place.
Chelsea's now a better team. Enzo
Yeah, Chelsea-
Maresca.
That's
Ange
true.
Postecoglou starting to be called Imposter Coglu by some Tottenham fans.
And today we have a Man City against Tottenham, so we'll see.
True. So Ruben Amorim finishing top 4 means that Imposter Coglu is real, and Enzo Maresca will not finish.
I wouldn't say Imposter Goku is real, man. The thing is,
I agree.
We're talking about different dimensions. Even though that United has not recently been up to standards, they still finished second 2 years ago.
True.
And
What?
with Eric Ten Hag. They
yes,
finished
yes.
second, not last year, but definitely not last year. But we're talking about a team which is used to be in the top 4. Independently of the manager, we had it with Solskjaer, we had it with Mourinho, even with Van Gaal, I think they were 4th.
Mm-hmm.
We had it with Erik ten Hag. So Manchester United is used to being top 4. And what I think Ruben Amorim will bring to this United side, I would say undoubtedly Manchester United is going to finish top 4 this season.
Very interesting take. Let us know down below your thoughts about this take. And now going to other teams in the Premier League with Pep Guardiola that we mentioned fast. Rodri's out, but what do we believe Pep Guardiola is thinking right now? Because 4 losses in a row, Pep Guardiola, first time ever that's happened, okay, before the Tottenham game. What's Guardiola thinking,
You
man?
must be thinking, oh, damn, I need a number 6.
I need a replacement of Rodri.
He needs
yeah?
a number 6, yeah, because...
And who's the best number 6 to replace Rodri? Zubimendi. The same as the national team.
Yeah, I wouldn't go against that. And of course, Guardiola for sure knows him well because he's paying attention for the national team games for
True.
sure. But yeah, for Kovacic isn't the guy to play in that role.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that Man City now is struggling with squad depth, a lot of injuries as well.
De Bruyne is going to be back now. Stone's back and Grealish back.
Yeah, that's true, and Stones can play that number 6 role,
Mm-hmm.
which is good news for Pep Guardiola. But still, man, we're talking about the best player in the world, according to France Football. Rodri.
Rodri.
Not John Stones. Not John Stones. So I think Rodri is irreplaceable at this moment. He's the closer you can get from Sergio Busquets, in my opinion.
Currently in football, yes. Definitely.
So you can ask Pep Guardiola about his most important players, and he maybe will tell you about Messi or Haaland or Kevin De Bruyne. But in his mind, I'm sure that he has at the back of his head Sergio Busquets and Rodri as fundamental on the way his team plays.
Complete agreement with you, Pedro. Because yes, to play that role, you need to be highly intelligent, and the characteristics and attributes are very hard to get with players like that. My prediction for Man City fans, look, I see a lot of news of this player going to Real Madrid, but I think he's going to Man City. So I think the Kevin De Bruyne replacement next season is going to Man City, Florian Wirtz, okay?
Oof.
Pep
Man,
Guardiola,
that's
by
full.
staying,
That's full.
if Pep Guardiola is now signed the extension, if Man City doesn't get relegated, I think they'll sign Florian Wirtz to be the new Kevin De Bruyne in this era. And he can still learn from
Alex,
him.
how much do you reckon that floating Wirtz would cost?
100 to 120 million.
And you think that Man City is gonna step up ahead with that kind of money?
I think the Kevin De Bruyne replacement has to cost that money.
So they're gonna sell someone, no?
I think players might leave. Yes, they sell. Look, like they sold Cole Palmer, like they sold James Trafford, like they sold Carlos Borges. I think they're going to sell other academy players.
Yeah, and,
yes.
and as well, we can see players such as Kevin De Bruyne making a move to
Liam
Saudi.
Delap, Ipswich, also playing well. So there's a lot of players they can also sell. But yeah, I think Pep Guardiola, in his mind, he needs to get Florian
So
Wirtz.
Alex, your prediction this season for Man City at the end of the year?
At the end of the season,
Yeah.
I believe Man City will finish top 3. I cannot say that
Come
they're
on,
going
Alex,
to win
that's
the
not
Premier
bold.
League.
That's not bold at all.
It's not bold because, look, if Arsenal sign a striker, my answer could change. If Liverpool sign another midfielder just to assure Gravenberch in case of injury, that also could change. Curtis Jones has been massively developed. That's why I don't say Man City to win the Premier League. Because Liverpool with Arne Slot is going incredibly
Top
well.
contender, top
Gravenberch, Luis Diaz, Konate, Curtis Jones are all better players with Arne Slot than they were with Jurgen Klopp.
And I'm going to say this here, Alex. And you know my feelings about Liverpool. In my opinion, Liverpool is top contender to win the Premier League and the Champions League.
They're in first currently.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're top contenders because you can be first and then it's
But with only one goal conceded and 10 goals scored, that is quite a good stat in 4 games.
Alex, Arne Slot is, in my opinion, Arne Slot is performing even better than Jurgen Klopp was. Of course,
100%.
he's taking the collective fruits out of Jurgen Klopp's work. No doubt about that, because Jurgen Klopp set the base for Arne Slot to thrive.
True.
But Arne Slot Liverpool is playing better than Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool.
100%.
And that's just facts.
100%.
Even he's getting the best out of players like Luis Diaz, even Darwin when he plays.
Konate?
Yeah. And for me, in my opinion, Man City's going to stay in the second position. So my top 4 for the Premier League, I know you didn't ask me, but my top 4 for the Premier League, and I'm going to go bold here. So number 1, Liverpool. Number 2, Man City. Number 3, Manchester United. Number 4, Arsenal. That's my top 4 for this
If
season.
Ruben gets top 3 in his first season, the second season, Man United has to spend big in the summer.
Honorable
Who do
mention.
they need to get? Gyökeres in the summer.
They're not going to get anyone in the summer. They're not going to get anyone else. Manchester United is going to be in the 3rd position with the current players.
No,
they
I
have.
mean for next season.
Next season.
I'm sorry.
I think it's their main target. Yeah, even though they have Højlund, but Højlund is the same. If I have to make a parallel here, Højlund is the same in my opinion as Konrad Arder was for Sporting. So he's a future striker for development, solely for development.
Both Danish.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, yeah, both for development and to be a potential starter striker in the future, but not for now.
Gotcha.
He's gonna take his time. Højlund with Victor Gyökeres, seeing how it's done, learning every type of movement, how to place his body, because Højlund is strong as hell, man, and knowing how to place his body, just like Victor Gyökeres does. And every center back that is trying to catch him is falling on the way in the transitions. Højlund can become a top striker in the future.
True.
And I believe Manchester United need a reference as a striker, but that reference for now is on Højlund. And that's why I believe as well that Rashford's going to play
And not
at
just
the
that,
striker
mate.
position.
Let's be honest, Pedro. I'll be bold and say, in the history of football in the next 5 years, the C is the most, the C, the way I said it. The C of Cristiano Ronaldo is the most iconic celebration in football. For me, second currently is Victor Gyökeres, mate.
Yeah, correct.
It's so iconic and it's so easy to do.
It's worldwide. It's
I
worldwide.
could see
And guys,
Old Trafford all doing
yeah,
this.
and now you mentioned that this is legacy. This is aura we're
True.
talking about. Victor Gyökeres is not only a player who performs; he's got that aura about him.
Like Ruben Amorim.
and he's worldwide, and consequently, as he's being worldwide, guys, Sporting Clube Portugal is going worldwide. And please, for God's sake, it's not Sporting Lisbon. By now, everybody, every damn pundit should know by now it's Sporting Clube Portugal and not Sporting Lisbon. And with Victor Gyökeres leading this armada, I think that Sporting is going to do great in the Champions League. But going back
Where
at United,
Ruben Amorim came from, Cristiano Ronaldo developed Victor Gyökeres. Now there should be more respect now.
many more. Even the relationship between Man United and Sporting.
So going with what you said now, with Champions League, because Sporting is currently a top 8 team in the Champions League, how are you feeling here? with the game with Arsenal, mate, because this is going to be historic.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, Alex, for sure. Sporting just changed managers, and the manager Sporting currently has doesn't even have a degree, so he cannot be...
Like Ruben
Like Ruben at the beginning. So it's interesting because I think that's what Sporting is trying to do, is build up a school for managers.
True.
So building up their own character of managers. They want a guy who's open in the interviews, speaks about football, no polemics
that
whatsoever.
Can stay 4 to 5 years like Ruben.
Who is polite and uptight and controls the locker room and knows his relationship, knows the players, has a great relationship with the players.
And the assistant coaches of Sporting are all highly knowledgeable fellas. Antonio Calcipina is 26 years old. Okay, he's perceived as one of the best minds, young minds in football. So Sporting, that's why Varandas has a lot of confidence to say that João Pereira is going to be in the top club in 5 years' time, a European giant, let's say.
I don't know about that, Alex. Let's see, because...
It's because of the assistant staff,
yeah, but
more than João.
Even though you can be the best guy tactically, technically, explaining everything to the players, but if you don't have that aura, that's like Ruben Amorim had, that communication skills, it cannot go to waste. So let's see.
Trust what I'm saying, okay, Pedro? Ruben Amorim's assistant managers, Adélio Cândido, Carlos Fernandes, Jorge Vital, Pedro Barreira, they're the best in the world. José Mourinho, we both know, if Rui Faria and his assistant team had stayed with José Mourinho, a lot more success would have come. That was a teamwork. Ruben Amorim knows the mistakes of others, and he will become one of the best ever
nowadays,
in the game.
A manager doesn't do it alone.
Exactly.
He has to be well accompanied by his team. But yeah, just mentioning
with
about
Champions League. So
yeah, let's switch back to Champions League. So it's going to be a tough fixture for Sporting, Clube de Portugal.
And try to find us too. We're going to the game, okay? So try to find us Sporting.
Yes,
Sporting Arsenal.
We'll definitely be there.
If you find me, I guarantee you I'll buy you a beer.
And as well, Man United fans, I'll be at Old Trafford on the 1st of December against Everton. So if you see me, just shout out. We'll take a picture.
Pedro.
We record a video maybe to send it to FC Wonderkid. Let's see.
Yes.
So yeah, Man United fans, 1st of December, Old Trafford. I'll be there. See you.
And on Tuesday, let's see if you can find us.
So talking about Sporting against Arsenal match, it's going to be a
Yes.
very tough fixture for Sporting. I think, in my opinion, the toughest fixture Sporting has in the Champions League. Considering
You say that because you beat Man City.
yeah, considering that Man City game, Man City were in a bad moment.
How did you feel? You went to the stadium in that game. How did you feel?
Crazy, man. One of the craziest environments I've ever lived in my entire life. One of the greatest footballing moments of my life, for sure. And Victor Gyökeres was to whoever says that Victor Gyökeres is just doing these stats, 59 goals this calendar year because he plays in the Portuguese league. First of all, where are all the other players that played in the Portuguese league and that are quality and that they didn't achieve these numbers.
In 4 games in the Champions League this season, Gyökeres is 3 man of the matches.
And not only that, Alex, Victor Gyökeres is currently the best scorer in all competitions he's inserted in. Portuguese League, Champions League, UEFA Nations League. Come on, guys. How can you say this guy is not class? In my opinion, he's the best striker in the world. And you've seen against Man City, he was just bossing.
Than Haaland.
He was bossing Man City around. And that's why I say he's more complete than Haaland, because he can play in transition better than Haaland can.
You said that in February, mate.
I said that, yeah. I mean, almost a year ago, Alex, and nobody believed me. But now people start believing me. And also, don't sleep on Martin Newman, Ousmane Diomande. Sporting has world-class players, or potentially world-class players. And that will show against Arsenal. What I do think Sporting's going to miss a lot against Arsenal.
But they have also Saka, Saliba, Declan Rice.
But usually Portuguese teams tend to do well against English teams.
And
that's
beat
cultural.
Arsenal without Odegaard, though. Okay, he came off the bench.
Yeah, we beat them in penalties. But still, it's about culture.
True.
And the thing is, Portuguese football is... It just fits inside the English football scheme, you know? That transition type of football, which is the football... The Portuguese teams are prepared to do that kind of football, you know? So they open a lot of spaces at the back, and the Portuguese teams know that, and they will explore it. And with Victor Gyökeres, with Trincão, that has an amazing pace, I really think they can be menace. In my opinion, Pedro Gonçalves is going to be a huge blow for Sporting not playing in that match. But I don't see... Especially after winning against Man City, I don't see Sporting winning against Arsenal.
It's not too easy. Like, if you do
I don't
player
see Sporting
for player...
winning. I'm going to go for a draw here. Sporting against Arsenal, I'm going to go for a draw. Even because this is the first real test that João Pereira is going to get.
True.
And it's going to be tough.
But what if he wins? I believe Sporting is going to win this game. I could be bold for some people. With game week 5 predictions here, Sporting against Arsenal, I believe Victor Gyökeres will score and Sporting will beat Arsenal. Come on, Sporting. Don't make me look bad with
Alex,
this.
I hope you're right.
And also another prediction I have, people. It's Sporting is going to play the same team they played against Man City. The same team is going to play against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Maxi Araújo, Giovanni
Pedro
Kenda.
Gonçalves can't play.
Pois é. Conrad Harder.
Marcus Edwards.
Ooh.
Marcus Edwards against Arsenal, against a team from his hometown.
That could be a chance to prove himself.
Yeah, and Marcus Edwards. I seen the last game.
He's
And
been
I
off.
know this last game was against a third-tier team.
Amarante, sim.
But we've seen Marcus Edwards regaining the standards of confidence he used
In
to.
this game.
Yeah, in this game. Yeah, I know he's been underperforming.
Been off, yeah.
Marcus Edwards has been underperforming, but I believe that he will be motivated to play against Arsenal. He's a Tottenham fan, Marcus Edwards. He was bred in Tottenham, so I believe he has that extra spice to this game, And I believe that this is the perfect environment for Marcus Edwards to thrive.
Interesting.
It will be against Arsenal, and I believe that we will see a rebirth of Marcus Edwards.
And we're talking here loads about Gyökeres and Ruben. Victor Gyökeres is one of the best in the world as striker. Ruben is one of the best managers in football. Martin Huylman is one of the best defensive midfielders also in football, right, Pedro?
I agree, Alex. And Martin Huylman is not only about football, he's about leadership.
True.
And we've seen that game against Braga, Ruben Amorim's last game,
He
in charge of
shouted at the
Sporting.
players. Scream.
If it wasn't for that Martin Huylman goal, Sporting wouldn't have turned that game. Because by that time, on the 80th minute, the game was outside of Ruben's hands. The subs were done, there was nothing more he could do, and it was only up to the players.
True.
And that's where Ruben is very good as well. As the players know, the coach believes, and Martin Huylman is the guy who passes the message inside the pitch to his colleagues.
Captain in his second season.
And any team, and even at Lecce, before moving to Sporting, Martin Huylman was also captain material. He was captain at Lecce at 22 years old in a Serie A team, being there only for 1 year or two. And we had Martin Huylman leading the Serie A in successful tackles before moving to Sporting.
And now he's leading games against Man City. So this is another player, Victor Gyökeres. Martin Huylman is also a player that can leave Sporting for more than 50 million.
And it's interesting you mentioned Martin Huylman because we all know Martin Huylman is an Arsenal fan since he was a kid. He has an Arsenal badge tattooed in his chest. So it's
just in his
arm.
in
Yeah,
his
I
arm.
think shoulder. I don't know.
But he's got Arsenal tattooed. Martin
it's going to be
Huylman,
interesting because Martin Huylman will want to show what he's made of against Arsenal. Maybe they can pick him for next season.
I'll be honest with you. If Arsenal's going to win the Premier League and if Arsenal sign Martin Huylman and Victor Gyökeres in 6 months, that's the team to win the Prem. Double pivot, Declan Rice, Martin Huylman, Martin Odegaard in front. You got Saka, you got Gyökeres, and a left winger too. They should sign. Mate, that'd be insane.
I have a question for you regarding Man United, and we'll go to Arsenal in this question.
But
we'll have a follow-up. So let me just ask you: you think that Ruben Amorim will win a Premier League? What's a reasonable amount of time for Man United fans to wait until Ruben Amorim wins the Premier League?
If he has a big impact this season, I think the next season he's a contender to win it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he won the Premier League in his second season.
But how patient do you think Man United fans should be with Ruben?
3 seasons minimum.
3. Okay. So how patient should Arsenal fans be with
Arteta? They should mandatory say to Arsenal they need a striker. It's a striker, mate.
Yeah,
if Mikel Arteta does not sign a striker, he will not win a Premier League. It's not Calafiori,
not the guy.
It's not Merino, it's not these signings. You need the signing of a striker. A Gyökeres, Šeško, doubts, but he would be impactful. Other players, come on.
And Arsenal this season were supposed to be contenders, but we've seen them bottling points like it's nothing.
Havertz.
And Man City is sleeping a lot.
True.
And Arsenal's not taking the opportunity to stick to Liverpool up top, and I've been disappointed, to be honest.
So let me ask you here, with the Champions League, going back to this, it's Sporting Arsenal, your prediction?
Draw. 1-1.
Then Club Brugge Sporting?
Sporting win.
Then RB Leipzig Sporting?
Draw.
And then Sporting Bologna?
Sporting wins.
Does Sporting finish in the top 8?
Affirmative. Sporting will definitely be in the top 8, even though I think
first season of
this
league
match
phase.
against Arsenal will be crucial. I believe if Sporting doesn't lose the match against Arsenal, Sporting's going to finish top 8.
Who else do you think is going to finish top 8, Pedro? Because we got big teams
We were
here.
talking about Arsenal, and given Arsenal's features they have left in the Champions League, I believe Arsenal's going to finish top 8 as well. The hardest game they have left is against Sporting. So I think they face Monaco, Girona, and as well, I'm missing the third one.
Arsenal fans are loving this.
Leipzig, I think Leipzig, but Leipzig has been underperforming as well.
So you believe that Sporting, Arsenal, what other teams? Like, for me, in the top 8 of the Champions League right now, mandatory, we'll have, at the end, Barcelona, we'll have Liverpool, we'll have Inter, we'll have Man City too. I 100% believe, and I'm going to share your belief, Sporting too. I believe will be in the top 8. What team didn't I mention? Real Madrid, PSG,
I
will
think
they finish top 8?
Aston Villa can make a surprise appearance
But
in the top 8.
will PSG finish top 8 in the Champions League?
Definitely not.
I do not believe they
Yeah,
will.
in a few weeks back, I believed so, but after they their draw against Atletico de Madrid, I don't believe it anymore. They have Bayern coming up.
Exactly.
They have difficult features, and I don't see
fixtures.
PSG fixtures or features. You can say it as well.
Got you.
Yeah, but fixtures more accurate. They have difficult fixtures ahead, so I don't believe that they're gonna make
PSG in this game week 5 is going to play Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, PSG. Bayern that has 6 clean sheets in a row before this game. Harry Kane scoring goals for days, and now PSG. I'm really not feeling it. I think the team in the world that needs the most Victor Gyökeres, it's not talked about enough, is PSG. PSG should pay the 100 million, okay?
They have Gonçalo Ramos though, but he's been injured. Yeah,
exactly, and Mbappe has left, Messi has left, Neymar's left. They need charismatical figures.
Yes and no. I believe that PSG is at a time they need to set the ego players aside. At the moment, there shouldn't be a reference at PSG. They need to build a team, and that's what's lacking at PSG for the last years. Because we've seen stellar players at PSG for the last years, and they were nowhere. I mean, they were close to winning a Champions League title. They were in the final against Bayern.
Exactly.
But that was the closest they got. After that, we didn't even see a glimpse of PSG's capabilities.
And that's interesting. Liverpool, Real Madrid, Bayern, PSG. These were 2 finals. These were 2 finals of the Champions League. 3 for sure. 3 for sure in the past 6 to 7 years. So interesting enough, João Neves is playing incredibly well for PSG. What a bargain signing that was.
Yeah, but Alex, also mentioning Monaco's doing well as well. They can make an appearance in the top 8
Monaco's going to play Benfica. Monaco's going to play. I think Benfica, they don't lose against Monaco.
Is it away or home?
Away.
I'm not sure. Away at Monaco.
But playing at Monaco, is it really playing against away?
No, but playing at home for Benfica is a huge deal.
True.
That's why I asked. But Monaco's doing well. I think they can make a surprise appearance, just as Aston Villa. Villa, I think they only dropped 3 points so far. And it was... did you see the penalty against Club Brugge? It was like a crazy penalty. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
But Villa's playing Juve. That is also a great match.
Yeah, but in my opinion, that's the toughest fixture they have. After that, I think it shouldn't be a problem for them. And if they win 2 out of the 3 left, I think it's 3 or 4 matches.
It will be, 8 matches.
4
it will be 3 left.
Yeah, 3 left now with this one.
So this fixture happens, it will be 3 left.
Okay, so... And I think if Villa manages to win at least 2 of them, they might.
For sure. For sure, they will get top 8 if they win 2 more fixtures. Interesting enough. And last thing here, because we didn't mention Real Madrid a lot in this talk, what are you feeling here with Vinicius Junior Ballon d'Or, Pedro? I haven't heard your thoughts here about this.
Yeah, it's subjective.
And Mbappe too.
It's subjective because if you preach that, okay, Rodri deserved it because of the collective titles, then maybe Carvajal should have won it. And it's a difficult topic to get into. In my opinion, is it the words badly attributed to Rodri? No, it's not. If it could have gone to Vinicius Junior, yes.
It should have.
But in my opinion, Vinicius currently is not a role model for kids playing football. In terms of attitude, I think he needs to play more and complain less on the pitch.
But is Mbappe the role model?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying Rodri is more of a role model than Vinicius is. And of course, but it's ridiculous for that to be the justification because we've never seen this come up until now. We've never seen this come up until now, and people coming up and saying, oh, but Rodri is an example outside of the pitch. But that wasn't a consideration before. If you tell me it's a consideration and if it's constant over the years, fine.
But let me
But
ask you this,
now-
so Pedro. Will Real Madrid win a Champions League with Mbappe, Vinicius, and Rodrigo Goes?
We're talking about Real Madrid, so Real Madrid is always a contender for winning the Champions League. I don't know if one of them is going to leave next year
Exactly.
because as well you have Endrick on the bench. You
Arda
have maybe
Güler.
you have maybe Arda Güler, who is a waste of potential in my opinion. Not being starting is a waste of potential for Arda Güler.
But who would he start ahead of?
That's the thing. You cannot take any player off. But Real Madrid, by stacking up with the stars, it's taking the potential of these kind of players for having an amazing career. You know?
Martin Odegaard was at Real Madrid.
Just imagine Arda Güler playing at AC Milan, or he would even have maybe at Barcelona. He wouldn't, but
No.
with how Rafinha is playing currently.
No, and Casado, even
yeah.
Casado and Pedri. That's the best midfield in
And
La
even
Liga.
if you wanted to put him as a winger, it's tough.
True.
But even in a Premier League team, I could see Arda Güler making some damage there. And
Arda Güler could have a similar story to Martin Odegaard if he's not given enough minutes. He should be given more of an opportunity. I'm surprised he
man,
doesn't
just
play more
imagine
minutes.
if he went to Man City. I think he would fit Man City.
I think because I said Florian Wirtz, I'm not gonna go say Arda Güler
Yeah.
now, okay? But yes, Arda Güler. What I could say is Arda Güler. If he went to Arsenal, that would be mega impactful, like Martin Odegaard was at the club at the time. So in the Champions League, let us know your thoughts. What did we miss, and what would you like to see in future podcasts?
Just one question for you. Do you think is there any like surprise club who's going to miss out on both the playoffs and the final 16?
I think PSG might be that club, mate.
You think they might be left out?
I think playoffs, they have to get it, mate. If they don't get playoffs, they'll be perceived as an
in
embarrassment.
your opinion, there's a chance they're outside of the top 24.
There is a chance that they are outside the top
That would be a
24.
huge embarrassment for PSG.
I really think so, yeah. And it shouldn't happen with the amount of quality they have in their team. But let us know what would be your answer to this. Whoa, Thomas Partey scored a screamer. We're watching because look, we're going to see Sporting Arsenal. We got to watch Arsenal play if they're playing live, okay? Thomas Partey just scored a screamer. So, yes, leave your thoughts down below in the Champions League and the team that will miss the top 8 and the top 24. But now, questions of the podcast here with the outro. And if you're listening until now, like this video on YouTube. It's a huge help for us at FC Wonderkid. The first question I have to do to Pedro is, if Ruben Amorim had stayed at Sporting, where would Sporting would have finished in the Champions League?
With some luck, no, I mean semi-finals, I believe so. And with some luck, to some extent, I think Sporting could go all the way in the Champions League with Ruben Amorim.
If he had stayed at Sporting.
Yeah, I mean, you always see some fairy tale story from time to time.
Mourinho won it with Porto.
Yeah, Mourinho won it with Porto. Ten Hag might have had won it with Ajax if it wasn't his bad chance as well against Tottenham at the last minute. Or at least he could have gone to the finals. So Monaco as well made the semis a few years back. So there's always a fairy tale to tell, and I believe that Sporting could have been this fairy tale, but since Ruben Amorim has left, in my opinion, Sporting's chances have decreased drastically. Not undermining João Pereira, but it's different when you change managers, you change, the environment changes, everything changes. Even the relationship from the fans with the team, everything changes, it's different. So currently, realistically, Sporting could go to the quarterfinals, and if Ruben Amorim had stayed, semis or even all the way.
And another question here in the questions of the podcast, Pedro, it's currently, where would you put Ruben Amorim? Top 5 managers in football or top 10?
Top 2.
Top 2.
In my opinion, the only manager who gets the best out of Ruben Amorim at this moment is Pep Guardiola.
And Vitor Gyökeres, in terms of table in the top strikers, top 3, top 5?
Top strikers. Vitor Gyökeres, in my opinion, is the best striker in the world.
And Martin Hulman.
I said it back then. I
say
said that Harry Kane was better, but at this moment, I believe Harry Kane is a better finisher than Vitor Gyökeres. But Vitor Gyökeres is a more complete striker, so in my opinion, Vitor Gyökeres is the top striker in the world. And you'll see when he moves to another Premier League club.
Okay. Another thing too. So we've also Vitor Gyökeres 100% had to be in the top 30 of the Ballon d'Or. Last season, okay? So what do you believe? Where do you think Vitor Gyökeres will finish in the Ballon d'Or this next Ballon d'Or 2025?
Depends on where Sporting goes in the Champions League. But if Sporting does a decent campaign in the Champions League, at least quarterfinals, I believe Vitor Gyökeres will be top 20 in the Ballon d'Or.
And the truth is, if he scores more than 62 goals, he will be next to Cristiano Ronaldo and next to Lionel Messi in the top goal scorers ever in a calendar year. His name's going to be there. His name's going to be in history.
2 more goals, and Vitor Gyökeres is inside the top 5 of best goal scorers in the calendar year ever. We're talking about ever. He surpassed Eusebio, some years of Ronaldo, some years of Messi as well.
Our children are going to ask
Lewandowski as
us, what was Victor Gyökeres, mates?
And he's scoring goals for fun in the
We
Champions League, in the
understand it now.
Nations League, not only in the Portuguese League. And guys, the Portuguese League isn't that easy to score
No,
goals
no, no,
because the teams defend a lot. They park the bus, so it's not easy at all.
And Samu at 20 just played for Spain, okay? The future of Spain is Nico Williams, Samu Amarodian, and Lamine Yamal at the right.
And Alex, just think about the strikers the Portuguese league had playing here in the past that
Falcao.
didn't manage to get this number of goals. You had Mário Jardel, who won the was I think the
Golden
last
Boot,
player
yeah.
to win the Golden Boot in the Portuguese league,
True.
and still didn't score as many calendar year goals as Victor Gyökeres. You had Radamel Falcão. You had players like Hulk, which was a damn baller.
Cardoso for Benfica.
Darwin Nunes. You had plenty of
Lisandro Lopes.
Lisandro Lopes, prime Lisandro Lopes at Porto. It was amazing, man. And I don't know why people are underrating him just because he
Doesn't
plays in the
make
Portuguese
sense.
league. Of course
Doesn't
not.
make sense.
If it's so bad, why don't any other players do it playing here as well?
And another thing too, since with the pre-bet show, thank you for all the listeners that also know speak Portuguese and they follow the pre-bet show part of iBet10. We spoke to the personal trainer of Rafael Leão, and he stated that Rafael Leão has the ambition of being talked in the Ballon d'Or talk next to Mbappe, next to Vinicius Junior. Do you believe Rafael Leão could win a Ballon d'Or one day, Pedro?
I do believe, and I just think
If he goes to Barca, he wins the Ballon d'Or?
difficult to say, Alex.
Lamine
Right now,
Yamal.
for example, Rafinha's form has been outstanding.
No,
and
but
I
he
believe
would play-
Rafinha at the moment is one of the best wingers in the world currently. I believe he's playing better than Rafael Leão. I believe Rafael Leão is lacking consistency.
True.
But if he attains that consistency, Rafael Leão is definitely one of the top contenders for the Ballon d'Or. And I've told you this a while ago. The only player back then, now with Victor Gyökeres, it's a different story, but who could face the likes of Mbappe, Vinicius, and Haaland was Rafael Leão. And I still do believe that he has a potential.
Do you think Gyökeres could win a Ballon d'Or too?
I do.
Ibrahimovic didn't win a Ballon d'Or. He would be the first Swedesman, right?
I'm not sure about that, but yeah, maybe yes.
Victor
And,
Gyökeres winning the Ballon d'Or, mate. That
it would be crazy.
insane.
National hero. He would be a national hero. For
And
Sweden.
Haaland too. So, like, if Man United sign Victor Gyökeres and you have the Norwegian beast Haaland and Man City, that is a rivalry that will be iconic in terms of marketing.
That's true.
So, very interesting here. Thank you so much, listeners, to be listening here until now to episode 9. As I said a couple of minutes ago, don't forget to like this video for future podcasts too. Episode 10 is going to be insane, people, okay? Go bold and try to guess who is the guest. And again, thank you so much, Pedro, for being here at FC Wonderkid. And thank you, people, for listening until now and going bold.
And guys, don't forget, on the 26th of November, we'll be outside of Estádio José Alvalade. And on the 1st of December, I'll be outside of Old Trafford. If you manage to spot me, just come greet me, guys. Maybe we can even send a video for an FC Wonderkid as
It's
well.
going to be amazing, people. Your guys are going to go bold and find Pedro and me in Sporting's game. So thank you so much, people, and thank you for going bold.
Cheers, guys.